Before we get in the video, please like, make sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, go ahead and leave a comment below, and click on the How You Can Help, which brings up the Family Friendly Game website and gives you lots of ideas how you can help us. Thank you. Hey everybody, Paul Burry, Family Friendly Gaming. This is an FFG Answers on what do you think of Memphis? Memphis, Tennessee. The first thought I have is when we went to a WWE event and The Miz was out there. And The Miz was mocking people from Memphis, and it was hilarious. It was probably one of the greatest things ever. Because that backwoods kind of concept that a lot of people from Memphis, especially born and raised and never left, really applies, unfortunately. Let me tell you some of my experiences in Memphis, Tennessee. They're not good. So, first and foremost, there is less traffic here than a lot of other areas I've lived. So, like Seattle has way worse traffic. I'm trying to think where else. I didn't really have to deal with bad traffic in like Colorado. New York had horrible traffic. Where else have I been? Texas. Texas was okay. Texas wasn't bad. But the traffic in Memphis is not that bad. Not that bad. The worst part about the traffic in Memphis, Tennessee, is dealing with the looky-loos, the rubberneckers, and they do more than rubberneck. Let me tell you what happened on the freeway. So it just crams down to a halt, and we're just crawling for about half a mile. And we finally got to the point where everyone had stopped. And the person in front of me, the driver, looks out the window, spits on the pavement, looks back at me and smiles, and then takes off. Do you know what they were looking at? A cop had pulled someone over on the other side of the freeway, the far side. Right? Not even close. Like, you have your 4 or 5 lanes of traffic. You've got the grass, barrier going down and up. And sometimes you have concrete in between. And then you've got a little place where you can pull off the road, kind of a side off a shoulder on that side. You've got their 4 or 5 lanes of traffic, and then you've got a shoulder on the other side. And the police have pulled someone over on the shoulder on the far side, way over there. And they had to be like, I'm like, why? What exactly are you trying to do here? Like, to me, that is probably one of the less intelligent things I've seen in my life. I used to carpool with a guy in Seattle. Butch was his name. And Butch would say, unless you are a paramedic or a police officer, do not slow down. You can get over, but don't slow down. You're not helping. You're creating accidents behind you. Someone's going to smash into someone else because of you. Right? You are the cause of an accident. So I've always kind of gone with that mentality. So I don't understand the looky-loos. I don't understand the rubberneckers. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't get it. I'm just not that interested in knowing what's going on over there. Right? It's like, I've driven right by vehicles on fire. I'm not a fireman. I don't have an extinguisher. I can't help you. I'm only going to hurt by stopping. Right? So that's one experience. We have had business licenses here since we came to Memphis, Tennessee. The people in Memphis and Shelby County, the county we live in, are absolutely clueless. Beyond clueless. So the very first year we got here and needed a business license for family-friendly gaming. Well, what are you selling? We're a media outlet. We're not selling anything. So you're like the newspaper? You're selling papers? No, we're not selling papers. Well, what are you selling? We're not selling anything. We're an online media organization. We get paid for advertisements, we get donations. Well, you have a warehouse with your products? We have no products. We're selling nothing. Like, it wouldn't get through their thick skulls that we're not selling something. That's all they thought of business for. You have a business, you sell something. That's it. That's the only reason for any business to exist. I'm like, what, are the hospitals selling something? A service? Is that, what? I could not comprehend the lack of intelligence there. Not only that, it gets better. Every single year we've had this problem. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. We go there, we get the form to renew our business license. We fill it out. We double check with the county employee. This is everything you need based on our business. Have a one-on-one sit-down meeting with them. Did we miss anything? Is this all good? Is this all going to work? Yep, you are good to go. Guess what happens right after the deadline to file is? You ready for this? We get a letter that a week after the deadline has passed, we didn't fill something out right, we have to pay late fees. Every single year. We have to go back and say we filled it out exactly as your employee told us to. We did exactly what we were told to do. This is exactly how we did it last year. And it was fine last year. Right? We eventually get them to waive the late fees. But you're going to start to notice a theme here that I've discovered is Memphis is greedy. Memphis is a poor city. The city government is greedy. The county government is greedy. Not only, I think my personal opinion is they do this on purpose. That they purposely screw people over to try to extort more money out of you. We live in a city called Cordova. You got that? Cordova. We found out a month later that Memphis had annexed us. They had kidnapped our neighborhood and other neighborhoods and decided we were part of them. We had to pay them their taxes. We got no vote, no say, nothing. We didn't even hear about this at all until a month after they did it. There have been lawsuits against the city of Memphis for doing this. They went all the way up to the county level, all the way up to the Nashville, to the state level. I don't know where it stands, but to me it's absolutely ridiculous. And they did it to try to get extra tax revenue. Now, they thought they were going to lose money from us. But with having to add police and fire and all that, then they found out they lost money by annexing us. So guess what they tried to do? Oh, we want to get rid of you now because, we're not making money off of you. Ding, greed. Did I mention the greed here? The greed from the county and the city? There have been multiple investigations into politicians here, multiple accusations of corruption. May have heard of Slick Willie Harrington. Yeah, he was the mayor of Memphis for a long, long time. Not only is he in trouble for corruption and he's been investigated by the feds, but he's also had all these different children from all these different women, so he's totally abused his position of power. And you go, oh my goodness. Steve Cohen, our U.S. State Representative in Congress. The moron who is interviewing a bucket of chicken. He makes the place look worse than it already is, and the people here are like, ha 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 ha. I'm like, you are as dumb as he is. You all deserve each other. Literally. Steve Cohen has said all kinds of racist things, but that's okay. Oh, speaking of racism, I have been called all kinds of racial slurs here in Memphis, Tennessee. Loving it. I can't really say those because I get in trouble with YouTube by saying the words that I've been called here in Memphis multiple times. Isn't that interesting? And that's totally acceptable. And not only, you believe this, it's happened in business and city government. They falsely accused me of running a red light with a red light camera, which of course those are unconstitutional, but that doesn't matter to the city of Memphis. They don't care. It's not only are they greedy and corrupt, but way too often they pawn things off, and you'll hear innovative ways of saying "not my department" from people in Memphis all the time, consistently. So when I was at court, I was called racial slurs by a court clerk. That's okay. I brought it up in court to the judge. Well, people in Memphis, and we can't really understand, we're not really sure that's true, and you have to have other witnesses. Oh yeah, I have other witnesses to sit there and do that. When county clerks call people racial slurs and lie to them, back to the greed, all they cared about was getting money. They didn't care about justice. They didn't care about honor. They didn't care about integrity. All they cared about was, getting more money. And so, I wrote that one article, don't come to Memphis ever. My thought is, I will help you avoid a very bad place. This is a horrible place. Don't come here. And as soon as Noah graduates from high school, we're going to be looking to move somewhere else, to get away from Memphis. Don't know where, don't know how God's going to work all that, but I'm looking to get away from Memphis. The trash. You'll love the trash. So, we've had a problem with our trash can for 2 years. It's been broken. We called them weekly for months. They finally came and took the trash can and threw it in the back of a truck. They didn't replace it. We were calling for weeks about the fact that they didn't replace the trash can. Oh, well, you have 2 trash cans and you're only paying for 1. You're not supposed to have 2. Ever since we lived here, we had 2. I didn't know we were only paying for 1. The other trash can's broken.
That's a broken wheel, actually.
The wheel's broken. So it's real fun to try and bring back forth and front in the backyard.
It's hard.
So they come by on a Friday. Their employees empty the trash can and leave. A second employee comes by with a Penske truck with new trash cans in the back. Comes by, looks at the trash can, leaves. We call up. Hey, what's going on? Oh, he had said that the trash can was full still. I took a picture. It was empty. The guy was lying. He's done that before and said it was full. The only way to get them to actually pick up a trash can is to turn it upside down. Literally. And then the one that they picked up and threw away, it was turned upside down because the top had broken off and the top was on the wheels. And the wheels are also busted up too. Recycle bins are busted up. We've been calling about that. They're not coming picking up. You call with a problem. They tell you they give you a ticket. You never hear back. You call back and say, hey, what's going on with this ticket number? Oh, that's been closed. Well, the issue hasn't been resolved. Well, we closed the ticket. Why was it resolved? Why'd you close it? Because the issue's still here. We still have this problem. Literally. And then they're like, oh, I don't know. Well, you want to hang up now? No. I want you to fix the problem. I've been calling you for months to fix this problem. You don't fix the problem. You just make a ticket, close it. Or they just make it go away. Like when our shed got robbed. Someone broke into our shed, stole some stuff, reported it to the police, check on the police ticket. Never filed. They just made it go away so the crime rate doesn't look so bad. So they're not even reporting on real crime because it's oh, we just want to, sweep that under the rug, pretend like it didn't happen, and then people think this is a great place to live when we don't report the crime. And the police officer multiple times tried to deter me from reporting it. Oh, your insurance is going to help you if you report this. That's fine. It's a crime. It has to be reported so people know what happens. And people know that there's crime in this area. Nope. They just, pretend like it didn't happen. And I've had instance after instance after instance of that. Oh, jury duty. So I went down to jury duty. They threaten you. It's a good thing you came down to your jury duty, because if you hadn't, we would have put a warrant out for your arrest and arrested you for not coming to jury duty. There are people that are they pull over who have 8 warrants for their arrest for committing crimes they never go look for. But if you commit jury duty, you don't come for jury duty, Well, they're going to immediately send a police officer to come arrest you. And then the judge is going to throw the book at you for it. Although, I did find an easy way around jury duty. They ask you, can you be fair, impartial, and unbiased? Tell them no. Can't do it. Nope. I'm not capable of doing that. And then they're like, yeah, we can't really have you on the jury. That's, you have to promise these things. Well, you know what? It's an inconvenience enough as is to come here for a couple days and then be threatened by your abuse of power. I'm not going to admit to being unbiased. I believe I would be very biased. One way or the other, I don't know. I'd figure it out at the time. Plus, I've heard the crime report in the Ben Ferguson radio show, so I've been tainted. Sorry. I'm trying to think what else there's been a problem with. The schools. The incompetence in the schools. Peter's going to the University of Memphis. He has professors that are not capable of figuring out how to reply to email or read them. They make him sign an honor code before every test. They forget to put the honor code on the test. So you go try to take the test, it says you can do the honor code, but it's not there, so you can't do it. He had to reach out to this professor multiple times over multiple days, and of course, finally wound up taking the test late. You would think they would pay attention to stuff like that. Nope. There seems to be a lackadaisical attitude in Memphis. A laziness to do work. Boy, they'll flirt with people all the time. I mean, I see all kinds of flirting, and I just like, okay, that's what you want to do. Back to the schools. So, when you go from the junior high to the high school, you think that'd be real simple, right? The same junior high, the same high school. My wife has had to make sure she has copies of all the documentation for Noah. Do you know why? Because they couldn't figure out how to do it. They couldn't go from the elementary school to the junior high. They couldn't go from the junior high to the high school. They said they did it. They didn't do it. And then they're like, well, we'll charge you so much money for you to come here and pick up the copies and take it over, drive it over. How much are you paid to not do anything? Literally. So we had our own copies. When we made extra copies, took it to the high school, took care of it ourselves. But we had to sit there and pay for all those extra copies. Or we have to pay the school for that. The same thing with Peter. His high school transcripts. He's starting the second year. Second year at University of Memphis. Okay? In August. Second year. He has to still give them his high school transcripts. And they won't accept what he sent before. They won't accept electronic copies. They want a printed copy that's got whatever seal on it from the high school. So he has to go to the high school, pay them money. He's had to do this every single semester, by the way. And they keep losing his paperwork. This level of incompetence in Memphis just baffles me. And I see it everywhere all the time. Oh, ordering from fast food. I have been lied to by so many people in fast food. I've had it happen at Popeyes. I've had it happen at Burger King. I've had it happen at Wendy's. Right? We're out of fries. We're cooking more. Okay. Just go wait right over there, and we'll as soon as we get the fries, we'll bring them to you. And it's an African American person doing this. Then an African American customer comes in after me, and they give them fries right away. Another one, they give them fries. Is it because I'm not African American? Is that why you're not serving me? Is that? And I have the suspicion, because I've had this happen at multiple places. And so you go up there and you're like, excuse me, you said as soon as the fries were ready, I'd be the first one to get them. And then I've seen 2 or 3 other people get fries before me. And I was here first, I paid first. I've been standing here waiting. My time is not valuable enough. And you have to give these people attitude, otherwise they're just like, well, we'll get to you in a minute. Yeah, that should end with sir, shouldn't it? You called all of those other people sir and ma'am, but me, you don't sit there and give any respect to. After I've been nothing but polite to you. Right? This is This is the Memphis experience. All of this. The incompetence, the greed, the lies, the racism. This is what I've experienced in Memphis, Tennessee. And this is why I tell people, don't come here. Don't ever come here. Avoid this place. Avoid this place like the plague. I mean, I've heard places like Atlanta and Detroit are bad, but I can tell you Memphis is horrible. And just,
California.
Graceland is so tiny it's not worth it. Don't even waste your time. I've been there. Trust me. I thought it was going to be something. It was like, eh?
Nothing else.
This is it? This is all this place is? The level of incompetence here is way above and beyond anything I've ever experienced. And you would think, like, a really liberal place like Seattle, Washington, would have been horrible. It wasn't. Man, I remember African Americans, Asians, just getting along, helping one another. And there might be different issues there, and there certainly are issues I saw there, but not to the level of Memphis. I mean, Memphis is horrible. You know, I'll give you another example of racism I've seen here in Memphis. Asian lady came in. So the people I know from Memphis asked her if she ran a Chinese restaurant. She's Korean, by the way.
Racism.
She was a programmer. Yeah. Racism. Definite racism from them. And I'm like, why do you immediately jump to, you see an Asian and think they run a Chinese restaurant? Like, why is that the first thought you have? Why can't you at least ask the person what they do first? I mean, why?
Eat Chinese food.
Whoa, why open your mouth, shove in your foot, make yourself look stupid, and then, you know, get accused of being racist? Well, why even do that? Why not just be a little more cautious and careful? You know, it's beyond me. So like I said, my opinion, don't visit Memphis. Avoid it like the plague. As soon as we can get out of here, we will. But I thank everyone for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.